Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, all. First, let me know whether my voice is clearly audible and the presentation is visible. Just enter it in the chat box. Now I will start the session. Please be quick. Okay. Okay. Now I will start. Okay. Now this is our first experiment, that is study of metallurgical microscope and specimen preparation for metallographic examination or microstructure observations. Okay. Now this experiment is divided in two parts. First will be your part A, that is study of metallurgical microscope. Okay, and already this part A I have completed in the previous practical session, and in that we have discussed how this metallurgical microscope works. Okay, in that we have discussed constructional details of metallurgical microscope and its working principle, and I have shown you the actual working, how it works or how to operate the any metallurgical microscope and how to do the microstructural examination. Now in that we have discussed what is the use of that metallurgical microscope. These uses I have highlighted here. The metallurgical microscope is used for phase determination, or you can say in simple words, we are using the metallurgical microscope for doing the phase analysis of any given metal or any given alloy, which phases are present in that particular metal or alloy or that material, which phases are there, that we are going to determine. It will termed as phase analysis. Then whether any kind of inclusion or any kind of defect is there, that also we can determine with the help of that metallurgical microscope only. Then suppose any coating is given on a particular material, then we can determine its depth also. Then we can do the grain size measurement with the help of some softwares. Okay, the software which we have already installed in our lab, with the help of that Quantimet software, we can do the analysis also. Means whole analysis along with the grain size measurement. This is the part A of this first experiment. Now the part B is the specimen preparation, actual specimen preparation for metallographic examination. Okay, metallographic examination is nothing but we are going to do the analysis of metal or alloy. It may be a ferrous material or it may be a non-ferrous material or it's alloys. Okay, we are going to do its examination, or in other words, microstructural study or microstructural observations, which phases are present in that particular metal or alloy, and that we are going to understand. And that part specimen preparation. Without this specimen preparation means, if suppose any metal or alloy is there, you cannot directly take that metal piece or that alloy directly. Suppose that steel material is there, we cannot take the steel plate or steel bar directly and we are under the microscope and we can't observe its microstructure. We have to follow some standard procedures. Means suppose you want to study a steel material, suppose a mild steel material is there, then you have to cut a small piece of that material, and that small piece is mounted and that specimen is prepared, and that specimen we are going to take under the microscope after its complete preparation. Then how to do this specimen preparation? Okay, that we are going to study in this experiment now. And this specimen preparation consists of following stages. Okay, this part already we have discussed. The what is inverted metallurgical microscope and how means constructionally its constructional details and its working principle. In previous session I have discussed. I have uploaded its YouTube link also. You can go through that session. Then this is the diagram. This all had already I have explained it also. Then its working principle. This is the optical microscopy. And now this is this part B of this our experiment, that is specimen preparation. Now, while doing the specimen preparation, we have to follow certain steps. Okay, there are 5 steps I have highlighted in this slide also. First step is the selection of the sample. Okay, already I have explained it. Suppose you want to study the mild steel material. Okay, it is a alloy of iron and carbon. Now you cannot take that. It is available in the form of plates or bars. Okay, already you have observed it in your workshop also. Suppose you want to study its microstructure. Then what we are going to do? We are going to take a small piece of that material. Okay, we are going to cut a small piece with the help of um, manual hacksawing operation. Okay, hacksaw blades are there. We can take that, and with the help of that hacksaw, we are going to cut it manually. Or sometimes, suppose if any hard material is there, okay, if material is very hard to cut that, we can use abrasive cut-off wheels. Okay, or different types of cutting machines are there. With the help of that cutting machines, you can take a small piece of that material, and that will be termed as a selection of sample. Very small pieces separated from the whole material, and it is considered or it is taken, that will be termed as a selection of sample. This is the first step. And after that, whichever small sample we have taken out, that sample we are going to do the mounting. Okay, mounting of that specimen is going to we are going to perform the mounting of that particular small piece which we have collected from the material. And this mounting can be done in 2 ways. You can go for cold mounting, or you can go for hot mounting also. In our lab, the cold mounting setup is available with us. Okay, you can go for hot mounting also, you can go for cold mounting also. But then how to perform the cold mounting, that actually I will perform it today. And just remember this step. Just we are going to do the mounting. Okay, and after the mounting, and then grinding operation is performed. This grinding operation is if needed. It is not a compulsory operation. If after the mounting process, if sharp edges are formed, then with the help of a simple grinding machine or a simple belt grinder, the sharp edges are removed. Okay, sharp edges are removed. This is just for the safety purpose or smooth handling of that particular specimen when small grinding operation is performed. Or if suppose after the mounting some excess material is there, it is removed by performing grinding operation. Then the fourth step is polishing of the specimen. Polishing is done in 2 ways or 2 steps: dry polishing and wet polishing. For doing the dry polishing, we are using the emery papers or polishing papers having abrasive particles on it. It is also termed as abrasive papers also. And the weight polishing is done with the help of weight polishing machine. Okay, and after this polishing, etching of that specimen is done, so that we will be able to see the microstructure. Okay, after polishing we will get a flat smooth surface. Okay, flat surface, scratch free surface. And its finishing will be mirror like finish. Okay, you can see your face after in it like a mirror. Okay, for the steel samples it will be observed like a mirror only. Then after that, you have to do the etching is nothing but a controlled corrosion, so that all phases will get revealed. Okay, so these are the 5 stages. After doing the etching, uh, uh, you can collect that prepared specimen, and you have to put it under the microscope, or you have to place it on the platform of your metallurgical microscope, and you can observe the you can do the microstructural analysis or phase analysis. Now how it is actually conducted, for that I will move towards the our lab. Okay, Please let me know whether all points are clear. Whichever steps I have highlighted, whether these steps are clear, please enter in the chat box. Now, actually, I am going to perform the practical. And my voice is also audible. Okay. Now, I'm shifting this cam here. Wait. Now, please wait. Okay. Now, I'm visible on that. Okay. Now, my voice is also audible. Okay. Now, this is specimen preparation. In this specimen preparation, one minute. I'm visible now. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to suppose I have collected this material. Okay, this is in my history sample. Okay, it is little bit larger piece. You can take the smaller piece also. Uh, and this is the first step, selection of the sample. Now in this selection of sample, we are going to cut it from the your available material. Your available material will be in the shape of long bar, or it may be in the form of a plate. From that, you have to cut a small piece, and this piece is taken out with the help of you can say that manual or fine. We can go for abrasive cut-off wheels or any other cutting machine available with you, and the different machines are available in our workshop also. From there only, I have taken this small piece of the mild steel. Okay, now you can take smaller pieces also. Now, the This is the first step completed, is the selection of material or sample. After this, we are going to do the mounting. Now you can go for cold mounting also, or you can use the hot mounting, cold mounting and hot mounting. Now, whichever setup is available here, it is setup for cold mounting only. Now, this setup of cold mounting consists of a cold mounting die. Okay, this is a cold mounting die. This is the cold mounting die. These are cavities. Okay, different shaped cavities are there depending on the size of your piece collected or sample collected. You can choose any cavity. Okay. Now the initial step here is means you have to take care that please initially take out that cavity and clean it with the cotton. Okay, proper cleaning must be done. Okay, means no sand or any dust particles should be there. For that, please do the proper cleaning with the help of clean cotton. Okay, this dye cavity is completely clean. You can do the cleaning also. This is our first step. I have done the cleaning of this cold mounting die, and these cavities are properly clean. Now, after finishing this cleaning procedure, the next step is application of the grease. Okay, here I have collected a small amount of grease. Grease is taken, and that grease, whichever cavity you are going to use. Okay, you can use one or more cavities at a time. Okay, sometimes you can go for multiple specific preparation also at a single time. Now here I am going to prepare one single sample. That's why I will choose depending on this side. I will choose one cavity here. This small cavity I have, and you have to apply the grease. Okay, on its surface. Then what is the purpose of application of grease here? Why we are applying this grease? Okay, we have finally we have selected that we are applying the grease on the surfaces. What is the purpose of this application of grease? Why I have applied grease here? Any answer from student side? Okay, why I have applied grease here? After completion of the Pink color. Voice is coming, but the video is not visible. Video is not visible. Pin लगेगा ना इस टाइप. What is visible on your screen? दिसतोय ना? Okay, please confirm that screen is visible, showing the lab. Okay, and whether my voice is audible? Let me fix the camera. Now I will check. इथे दिसत नाही काय? मला दिसतंय का? Yes, back camera. मला नाही कळत काय झालंय. Okay, let me. Okay. Visible. Okay. Now I will repeat this part. This is the specimen preparation experiment. Now initial stage for the specimen preparation. First stage is selection of the sample. Selection of the sample is nothing but just you have to collect a small piece, okay, from whichever material you want to do the microstructural examination or its metallographic observations, simply phase analysis. You have to take a small piece from available plate or whichever bar it is available. That on that form, you have to cut it with the help of manual X-line or with the help of some cutting machine. You can cut the small piece. That small piece you have to take. This is the selection of sample. Then after that, mounting you have to do. Whichever sample you have collected, you have to perform its mounting. Then mounting can be performed in two ways: cold mounting and hot mounting. Now, whichever setup is available in our lab is cold mounting. You can opt for or go for hot mounting also if available. Now for cold mounting, the first requirement is your cold mounting die. This is your cold mounting die, and this die has different cavities depending on your sample size. You can choose any cavity. Now, initial stage in this cold mounting is application of grease. I have already sorry. Initially, first clean your die, cold mounting die. First clean it with the cotton. And after cleaning, you have to take grease, some small amount of grease is taken, and it is applied on the cavity surface. Okay, at the bottom side also, at the uh, corners. Okay, apply the grease. Now, what is the purpose of application of this grease? This grease is applied for easy removal of your sample or specimen after completion of cold setting operation, for easy removal only. Okay, now after application of grease, okay, one small crucible you have to take. This is one small crucible. Before taking it, wash it properly and clean it with the help of cotton. Okay. Now after this, for cold mounting, here we have one powder material. Okay. This is cold setting powder, and this is cold setting liquid. Generally, we are using epoxy resin. Okay, epoxy resin and one mounting. You can sometimes you can go for acrylic material or other materials from the thermosetting materials. Okay, what is the specific property of this thermosetting material? When you cool it, okay, when you cool it, it will get hardened. Okay, after keeping it in your environmental condition for some time, it will get hardened. Okay, or it will get solidified. This is the property of this epoxy resin, and with the help of that epoxy resin and that acrylic powder or any other cold setting powder, you can go for it. Here we are having cold setting powder and the acrylic powder and your epoxy resin. This is the powder. It is having white color. It may be available in different colors. Previously, it is available in this color. Okay. Sometimes it may be black color or red color. Okay. Depending on the availability, you can choose. So first you have to make the mixture. For that, I will collect this liquid. This is epoxy resin. Very small amount you have to collect. I will collect the powder. This is the powder, cold setting powder. You are not able to remember the name, simply cold setting powder you have to take. Then this small amount of this cold setting liquid or epoxy resin is added here, and it is mixed. Okay, properly you have to take some powder amount. This is your mixture. Now this is your sample. Okay, collected. Just you have to take that whichever sample structure you want to study, it is kept by placing in the downward direction. Okay. Now, whichever sample, whichever surface you are going to study, just place it in the downward direction and place that in the cavity. And after that, that resting material is poured. Okay, here we have poured it. epoxy resin, and that cold setting powder is poured. Just properly pouring should be done. Avoid some excessive material. Use of excessive material should be avoided. And after this pouring, just close that cavity. Okay, just close that cavity. If extra material is removed, you have to clean it. Okay. Okay, now I have poured that mixture of this epoxy resin or cold setting liquid and cold setting powder. First, I have made the mixture. Then I have placed the surface which I want to study. I'm placing it in the downward direction in the that die cavity. After that, I have poured that mixture and I have closed the die cavity. Now you have to wait for 15 to 20 minutes. Then within this time, that mixture will get hardened. Okay, and after 15 to 20 minutes, we will wait for that. But I will explain as we are having limited time. We will get after removing this dye. After 15 minutes, we will get this kind of specimen. Okay, whichever metal or alloy you have used, its surface will be only visible. Okay, this kind of sample will be obtained. We will get our sample after 15 minutes. 15-20 minutes you have to wait. Okay, now this is the second step. Okay, now second step is completed. Initially we have selected the sample, then we have mounted. This is the mounting of that sample or mounting of the specimen which you have selected. Now this is your specimen. Okay, mounted specimen. Now the next stage. Okay, you have to follow more stages. Now here you can clearly see that some sharp edges are there. Okay, because sometimes you may end up with pouring extra material. Some sharp edges will be there, sharp corners will be there. Then when you are performing or using it, it may be hazardous. Okay, it may damage your hand or fingers. Means some kind of injury may be there, and sometimes some material may be there on the your that metal or alloy surfaces. Sometimes it may also happen. To avoid this, one small grinding operation is performed with the help of a belt grinder, or directly you can use the grinding machine. Okay, small grinding operation is performed to remove the sharp edges, or sometimes there may be extra material that is removed by performing the grinding operation with the help of your simple grinding machine or belt grinder. Okay, yesterday only I have shown you that virtual levels that we have taken the material from grinding operation is performed. Okay, then after performing the grinding operation, you will get the smooth surface. Okay, smooth finished surface. Now, you may feel like that now I can study do the phase analysis. Okay, but it is not possible. Okay, now what is your next stage is to get the fine surface, fine scratch free and mirror finished surface. Now you have this is your next stage, and to achieve that, we are going to do the polishing operation. Now this polishing operation is done in two ways. That is dry polishing. Initially we will do the dry polishing, and in the next stage we will do the wet polishing. This dry polishing is done with the help of emery papers or polishing papers. These are different types of emery papers available. Okay, now is it visible on the screen? Okay, now you can see here on this paper some marking is there. Some PAT or okay, I will show this. Okay, it is clearly visible here. On this paper, you can see P 1200, and on some papers P 800 you it is visible. Okay, so what it indicates? It indicates the that particle size. Now, different emery papers, or these are also called as abrasive papers. Why abrasive papers? Abrasive particles are mounted here, or these papers are made from abrasive particles of silicon carbide. Okay. These are silicon carbide abrasive particles present on this polishing paper, emery paper, or abrasive papers. And depending on the size only, these names are given. Okay. Now, the next point here is very important. Larger the number, okay, larger the number of that paper, finer is the size of that particle. Okay, means suppose here one paper is here with 80 size, okay, particle size indicating 60. This is the paper with particle size indicating 60. Okay, means it is rough paper. It is very rough. Its particle size is 5. And if you observe this paper here, 1200, and it is the smooth one. Okay, smooth one, or it will give you the fine finish. Okay, in this way, you have to start with the smaller number in the paper, and you have to stepwise you have to move towards the larger number. Okay, now while doing the polishing operation, now you have to collect your sample. Okay, first collect the minimum size paper. This size paper I have collected 68 or 120 you can collect. Then put it on the flat surface. Okay, in virtual lab we have seen that we have used the flat glass plate. Here we are going to use one flat table. Okay, this flat surface. On that flat surface, you have to keep this emery paper. Then fold this specimen in your hand properly. Okay, hold this specimen in your hand properly. Now you have to do the polishing operation. This polishing operation should be performed in this way only, which way I am showing here. Just start and keep here. Okay, then move in the forward direction, then lift it up. Again, start with the initial point. Okay, in this way, I will do the polishing. Now, while performing this polishing operation, you have to take care that you have to choose the proper application of the pressure. Okay, pressure should not be too less. If pressure is too less, if you are not applying the force, then polishing will not happen. Okay, and you have to apply excessive pressure also. If you are applying excessive pressure, okay, and applying excessive pressure, then what will happen? Only this, whichever cold setting power you have used, it will get removed from that surface. Okay, means you have to collect, means you have to apply proper pressure. Avoid less pressure also, or minimum pressure also, and avoid excessive pressure also while doing the polishing. Select the proper amount of pressure so that you will get the proper finished surface. Okay. Now, here again, one care should be taken that while changing the emery papers. Okay. For few minutes, you have to perform one size paper in the paper or abrasive paper. Okay. In this way, polishing is done. Okay. Now, please see the direction. I am holding it in this direction. Okay. Now, I am changing the emery paper size now from 60 size. I'm going for the little final paper. This is 80 size paper. Now, while changing the emery paper, you have to take care of that. You have to rotate your hand. Sorry. Okay. Initially, I have done polishing with the first emery paper in this direction. Okay. In this direction, I have done. Now, after changing the paper, rotate your hand by 90 and do the same. Okay, now same polishing you have to do. Okay, this polishing you have to do now for a few minutes. Keep here, move in the forward direction, lift it up, again start from the initial stage, move towards the end point. Okay, don't do like this. It should be avoided. It is wrong with the approach. Just keep your specimen properly and move in the forward direction, lift it up, again start from your initial point. Do like this for a few minutes. Pressure should be applied properly. Okay. So in this way, we have to do the polishing. Then now again we have to change paper. Go for the finer image paper or abrasive paper. Then while changing the paper, rotate your hand again by 90. Why we are changing it? Whenever we are changing the image paper or abrasive paper, why we are rotating our specimen by 90 degree? Okay, suppose initially I have moved it in this direction, then scratches will be horizontally formed. Whichever material is removed and scratches will be formed, it will be in horizontal direction. Then when I am using the next image paper, I am rotating it by 90 degrees. Due to that, what will happen? Now this time scratches will be formed perpendicular to the previous scratches, and that scratches will get eliminated. Okay. For this purpose only, we are changing image papers, and while changing image papers, we are changing the direction of the specimen by 90 degrees. Okay, due to that, whatever scratches are previously formed, it will get eliminated and you will get the smooth or polished surface. Okay, if you see carefully here, you can see the scratches in here. You can see it. Okay, then we will change the direction. These scratches will get eliminated. That's why we are rotating our hand by 90 degrees whenever we are changing the. Now you can use 4, 5 UV papers. Okay. You can go for 60, 80, then 320, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, like that. Okay. This will be the dry polishing. And what care you have to take after completion of dry polishing? You have to clean the sample. Clean the sample with the help of your tap water. Okay. I will clean it, and also okay, clean the specimen with the help of water, and you can clean it with the cotton, or you can go for the hot blower. Hot air blower is also there. You can use that. This is the dry polishing setup. Now we will move towards the wet polishing setup. Is it visible? It is visible. Okay, na? Okay. Now this is the wet polishing machine. This is wet polishing machine. Has rotating disc. Okay. 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 This is the rotating disc. On this rotating disc, the cloth is mounted here. Fixed cloth is fixed. Smooth cloth. Cloth having smooth surface is fixed here, and it is attached to that disc. Okay. And when you start this machine, this disc starts rotating, and from this when we are supplying the water here. Yes, from this arrangement we are supplying water also. Or if water is not available, you can directly pour the water with the help of this water. You can directly pour. Okay. Now, while performing this, wait, start. For starting this, okay, this is weight polishing machine. Now, before starting this, you have to pour the alumina powder. This is alumina powder. Okay. Generally, we are using alumina powder. It will give you the smooth surface finish, mirror-like surface which will be obtained. To obtain this on this cloth, we have to pour alumina powder along with small amount of water continuously, and we have to do the weight polishing. Okay, alumina powder is nothing but aluminium oxide. This is Al2O3. Okay, Al2O3 compound. Now, this alumina powder is used for your ferrous metals or its alloy, and for copper metal and its alloy also. Okay. Then you can use the magnesium oxide also, magnesium oxide or chromium oxide. Then diamond particles are also used in some cases. Diamond particles are also used. In this case, we are going to use this alumina powder. Now, initially, I will take some small amount of this alumina powder. Okay, this alumina powder is over here. Over here, alumina powder is poured. And small amount of water is added. Water continuously poured. Now you can start that. Okay, I will hold this sample now. Now, hold this sample. Start the machine now. Start the machine. This way, weight polishing this with the help of this weight polishing machine. The weight polishing operation is performed, or this is the fine polishing operation. After completion of this operation, just whichever specimen is meant to wash it with the help of water. Okay, just we have to use the tap water. Now, is it visible on the screen? Start. Okay. After finishing the dry polishing and wet polishing, dry polishing is also termed as a rough polishing, and this wet polishing is termed as fine polishing. After finishing the fine polishing, wash that sample or your specimen with the help of water, and now you have to dry it. Okay, dry it with the help of one. This is hot air blower. Okay, with the help of dry it. Okay. In a few seconds, you will get the dry surface. Now, you can remove this. Okay. Now, this is your specimen. Now, your 4 stages are over. Okay. Selection of sample is over. And mounting is also over. Then grinding, and then polishing is also over. Now, if you take this sample and keep under the microscope, and if you observe its structure, then you will be not able to see anything other than a white surface only. Only a white surface will appear. If you observe it through the eyepiece, you will be able to see a only white screen. Now, what to do? You want to observe the microstructures, then to get or to reveal that microstructure properly or to identify phases properly, the final stage is etching. Okay, etching is done on this surface. Etching is done on this surface, and this etching is done with the help of different etching agents or etching reagents. Now, whenever we are using the ferrous materials, it may be steels or it may be cast irons. Generally, we are using nitrile. Okay, nitrile is mixture of nitric acid and ethyl alcohol. We can take methyl alcohol. Very small amount of acid and large amount of ethyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol is taken. Okay. Nitric acid and ethyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol, it will be termed as a nitrile. Okay, that mixture or that chemical is taken and that chemical is applied. Okay, these are different etchants. Okay, we are having here directly mixture is there. This is nitrile mixture. Is it visible on screen? This is the nitrile mixture. We are using it for steel. It may be used for cast iron also. And this is used for aluminium. Aluminium or your non-ferrous alloy. Sometimes you can use this etchant or other etchant. Okay, different etchants are available in our lab here also. These are different etchants used for stainless steel, used for brass. And generally for non-ferrous alloys, we are using ferric chloride. Okay, non-ferrous alloys, we are using ferric chloride as a etching agent, and for ferrous alloys, we are using nitrile. Okay, generally steels and cast iron. This is generally used. Sometimes if suppose it is a special steel, stainless steel, then other agent we are using. Okay, this is marbles reagent. Yesterday I have shown that this is marbles reagent for stainless steel. Then for brass is nothing but your non-ferrous alloy. Non-ferrous alloy for that ferric chloride is used. This is ferric chloride. And this is nitrile. Here written. Etchant for steel. It is nothing but your Okay, now from this bottle, yes. Another okay, show you this. I will show you after practical. Already that particular is having different color. This is pink or a pink color. Pink color, hard color would make. Pink color. This is pink color. This sample is made with the help of this acrylic powder. Okay, or cold setting powder. Here they have written cold setting powder, but its name is acrylic powder. Now, the next stage, you have to take this etchant. Okay, this etchant is taken on the cotton paper. Cotton you have to take. That etchant is taken and can just rub it. Swabbing operation. Okay, this etchant, application of the etchant on this specimen can be done with different methods. You can spray this etchant with the help of a spray. That is spraying method. Okay, or you can take this liquid or chemical on a cotton. You can apply it with the help of that cotton. It is termed as swabbing. Or sometimes you can take this chemical out in crucible and directly dip the specimen inside that chemical or that etchant. This is dipping method. Okay, you can go for swabbing, spraying. You can spray, or you can go for dipping method. And some electrodeposition and other methods are also there. That is not part of your syllabus. These are simple methods. Swabbing, then spraying, or you can directly do that in the chemical. With the help of this, any one method from this three, you have to apply that etchant on this surface, and you have to wait for a few seconds to few minutes, depending on your material. Okay. Now, what will happen after application of that etchant? It will start corroding that material. Whichever metal or alloy is there, it will start corroding, means corrosion of that particular metal. Then that etchant will corrode grain boundaries more. Corrosion at grain boundaries will be at more intensity. That's why when you observe this sample, now you can take this sample after etching, wait for few seconds to few minutes depending on your sample size or material type. Then again clean it and dry it with the help of your hot air blower. Okay. Then you can take this sample and you can observe its microstructure with the help of that microscope, metallurgical microscope. Now, due to this etchant, corrosion is often already occurred on that surface. Then the grain boundaries will be visible in darker or black color. Okay, they will get means grain boundaries will get subjected to more corrosion. Then, if suppose any metal having two or more phases, then as they are having different chemistries, their chemical reaction will be different with this etchant. Okay, due to that, their appearance will be different. Are you getting this? Means suppose only single phase is there, then you will get a even structure, even or uniform structure throughout. If more phases are there, depending on that phases, different morphological structures will be visible under the microscope. Okay, so this is the specimen preparation, and now this prepared specimen you can observe under the microscope. As already I have taught that in the previous session, you can operate it properly, and you can do the phase analysis or microstructural analysis, or it is also termed as metallographic inspection or examination. You can do it with the help of that metallurgical microscope and the software available with us. Okay. Phase analysis can be done. So in this is the experiment of specimen preparation. In this way, our first experiment is completed today. Okay, this first experiment divided in two parts. First part is study of metallurgical microscope that we have discussed in the previous practical session. In today's practical session, we have covered the specimen preparation. In that we have discussed 5 stages. First stage is selection of sample, then mounting of the specimen, mounting of that sample, then grinding of that specimen, and then polishing. And in that polishing, we have discussed 2 polishing methods. Dry polishing, which is also termed as rough polishing. It is done with the help of abrasive papers, or emery papers, or simple you can term it as polishing papers. And fine polishing is done with the help of this wet polishing machine. Here we have used alumina powder. Okay, this alumina powder we have used to get the fine surface. Okay, fine mirror-like scratch-free surface. And after it, you have to wash that, and you have to perform the etching method. Okay, with the help of suitable etching agent or etchant you are using, or steel. Generally, we are using nitrile. Steel and cast iron, we are using nitrile. And for non-ferrous alloy, generally we are using ferric chloride. And for steel, we are using marble silicate. Okay, this type of questions may be there in your oral examination, practical oral examination. They may ask you which etchant you have used, how you perform the polishing operation, which machine you used for polishing. They may ask you how you have done the mounting. Okay, in our lab you have performed cold mounting. There is one setup for hot mounting also. Okay, hot mounting consists of one machine will be there, and there will be one arrangement to keep the specimen in one block. You have to keep the specimen. You have to pour the powder. It will get closed, and it is subjected to heating cycle initially. 10 to 15 minutes heating cycle and 10-15 minutes cooling cycle. And after that, we'll end up with the same kind of material. And in hot mounting case, we are using bakelite powder. Generally, we are using bakelite powder in hot mounting process. Here we have used the cold setting powder or acrylic powder. Generally, this is acrylic powder. This one. This pink color powder is acrylic powder. This is acrylic powder. Acrylic powder and the cold setting liquid is nothing but your epoxy resin. Okay, that we are using here. Here it is mentioned. This is acrylic repair material. Okay, this material is cold setting powder. It is also known as acrylic repair material. Okay. Different questions you have to understand. So I think all part is covered. We will check our samples condition now. Is it visible? Happened. Is it visible? Yes. Yeah, I think we have provided sufficient time here. Okay, now I am removing this. Okay, you can see here. Is it visible on the screen? Okay, now you can remove this sample from this guy. Okay, sometimes it may get stuck. So now we have to take this out. Okay, I have removed this. Okay, remove this cold mounting and you have to now just push your specimen here. I will take this out. Okay, this is your cold mounting die I have removed. Now just take this out. Some excessive material, excess material I have. That's why some excess material. Okay. Okay. Now you can see clearly. This is the specimen. Okay. This specimen we have obtained after completion of cold mounting. Cold mounting process or cold setting operation has occurred. That whichever resin and the cold setting powder mixture we have used, after the cooling, it gets set. Okay, or solidified. This structure will be obtained here. Now, if you observe carefully, some sharp edges are there. Some sharp edges are here. Now, it may cause injury while operating or while performing polishing or grinding, while performing weight polishing, while doing the cleaning or while washing it, or while observing the microstructure. It may cause injuries. To avoid that, this is removed by performing grinding operation. The sharp edges are removed by performing grinding operation, and after that, we are going to do the polishing. First, dry polishing, and then wet polishing. After completion of wet polishing or fine polishing, wash it properly with the help of water and dry it with the help of dryer or hot air balloon. Then perform the etching operation with the help of suitable etchant, and after performing the etching operation. Again, you have to wash it and dry it with the help of dryer. And then, with the help of metallurgical microscope, you can do the phase analysis. Okay. After completion of etching operation, then only you have to go for the microstructural examination or metallographic observation. Okay, so this is the first experiment. In this way, we have completed the first experiment. Now, from this is the prepared specimen. Okay, I will show you this, and this is the fold mounting specimen. Specimen obtained with the help of fold mounting. Okay, just a few operations are left that you have to perform: grinding, polishing, and etching. And then you have to go for microscopic examination or metallographic examination. Okay, in this way, we have completed our first practical in 2 slots. In first slot, we have learned working principle and constructional details of the metallurgical microscope. In that, we have taken inverted metallurgical microscope. And in the second part, we studied the specimen preparation, followed by following different stages. Okay. So in this way, we have completed this practical. If you are having any, please put that in the chat box. I will answer it. If you are not having any query, we will stop this session. Before stopping this session, please mention your roll number along with your division in the chat box. Please put your roll numbers in the chat box along with your division. And if you are having any query, put that query in the chat box. Okay. In this way, we have completed this practical. I will upload its video also within 1 day. Okay. If any query is there, please put in the chat box or mention it in the chat box. Okay. Sorry. If any query is there, please let me know. Okay, whether I will let me know whether throughout this session my voice is properly audible and the video is also visible on your screen, that lab video, whichever operations I have performed. Please put that in the chat box also. Only few students are giving reply. I'm expecting more replies. Some students have sent in the chat that voice is small or audio is very low. I have corrected after that, but let me know whether my voice is proper throughout that practical session. Voice is proper. Okay. Okay. All students, please. Other students, please give. Okay. Okay. I'm clear. Okay. Okay. Now, thank you. Now I will stop this session. Okay, now I will stop this session. Those who have forgot to mention their attendance, please mention your attendance in the chat box. Okay, okay. Due to some sunlight issues, sometimes I am not, the video is not visible. Okay, I will try to correct it. Okay, I will try to fix all the issues. I'm trying it. Okay, I'm trying it, but sometimes due to some network issues, these problems are occurring. Okay, I'm trying it. I will try to sort all problems. Okay, with okay, thank you. Now I will close this meeting here and I will stop this session. Okay. Okay, now I'm closing this meeting.